Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Bergs podcast. I'm Ben, your favourite high school dropout and founder of Collective Shift. Alongside Ms. Bergs, your favourite MBA and CEO of Collective Shift. We're here to bring you world-class crypto research, strategies, and insights to help you crush this crypto bull market. Plus, get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look as we scale one of the leading crypto research companies in the world. And if you like the podcast, we'd love for you to leave us a follow. Otherwise, subscribe if you're on YouTube. It is how we grow the podcast each and every week. And today, we did a bit of reflection over the course of our 5 years building Collective Shift and the journey we've been on. And now we're really, we're at 17, 18 full-time staff. We're scaling internationally. We're growing. Businesses going exceptionally well, but it wasn't like that for the first 3 or 4 years. It was a huge slog, and personally was absolutely all in. I was up to the eyeballs in debt to the ATO, selling when I took profits on my crypto to roll into Collective Shift, and trying to get everything in order to scale the business and get it going. And it was really fucking hard. And I had no money there for a little while when I was trying to get this thing going, and selling my crypto to fund the business, and the business wasn't profitable, and it was tough. And at the moment over in Asia, taking a week off and reflecting back on the journey that's been and how pumped and excited we are for the business and everything we've got going on. And essentially that journey of essentially broke on the verge of bankruptcy at 21 to, having, sort of multiple seven figures is like net worth is crazy to think about. Because in a way, Berg's and you've had a lot of money for a lot longer than I have. It's crazy how it changes so much, but also doesn't change anything.
It is interesting. Like some of your parts of your life will change. A lot of it will just stay the same. And it depends on the kind of person you are, what you want to achieve, how much lifestyle creep you have as well. But before we get into that, mate, let's talk about what it actually was like. Because it wasn't that long ago, maybe 2 and a bit years ago, where you weren't even getting paid a wage. You didn't have a house to live in. You didn't have a car. It was pretty dire, mate.
It was brutal. I didn't have a car, didn't have a place, broke up with my ex-missus, tried to go capital raising. FTX was blowing up, it just come off the back of, the ex-business partnership that went south, losing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars some months. I'd sold pretty much all my crypto to fund the business. I wasn't taking a wage. I was trying to keep the company alive by keeping our team paid. I owed a lot of money to the ATO because I sold that crypto, no rollover concessions. We were losing money, trying to raise capital, and it was the most brutal 2 years of my life. It was like constantly banging your head up against the door, getting no results, not knowing why, trying to figure it out, and it was just day after day after day, just like grinding, stressed. I was not in a great mental way. Very lonely. It was tough, man. It was really tough to get through that period. And there was so many times where I was like, what the fuck are we, what am I doing? This is just absurd.
That's it. Like most reasonable people would have given up, but you're insane. So you kept going because you're just all in. You're like, nah, no one's going to prove you wrong. And it was crazy, and things pop up that you don't expect where you're going so well. Then you have to, I was on reduced wages, you were on reduced, and then we had to fire people, and it was horrible. These things that you don't expect that pop up when you're building a remote business in crypto, and the market can change on a whim. And again, we're learning a lot about business, running a business, structuring it, trying to build our brand, find customers when you're hemorrhaging customers. It was horrendous. But then I think it was a point, was it maybe last year, where the business is going quite well. And I think you realized that you're a millionaire, right? With the business equity and everything that you have. And I remember asking you, how do you feel? And you're like, oh, better get back to work. It was very, very interesting. And now you've kind of, you've built on that. And I want to hear from you, how has going from basically having, well, you did have a lot of some money in crypto, a lot, more than most people, sold that, put it into the business. Yeah. Then you're actually negative because you owe
Yeah.
money, now to swing right the other way and having a successful business. So how does having that money and that money change, swing wildly? How has that kind of, changed your life, or how you look at this now? Because the goal for people is always like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be this, I want to be that. How does it actually feel, and how has it changed you?
And to be honest, it hasn't changed really anything. I sometimes I look down and look at the bank balance, or we did our first 7 figures. We did 7 figures in a month last month, and I'm hungrier than ever. Like, I'm probably hungrier. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not about the money. If it was about the money, we wouldn't be where we're at, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I just love the game, and I love impacting people, and I love helping other people get wealthy too. There's nothing better than seeing other people like get wealthy, and you're getting wealthy with your mates, like, and your clients, and you're helping them make money and them change their lives, and they come and tell you how their lives changed since working with us. And I know that sounds potentially a bit woo woo, but because 99% of people in this space are absolutely full of shit, to know that we're doing an actual like business, doing it in a really good way and genuinely helping people is just something that's so inspiring and impactful. And I think what gets me going is seeing still how many people are getting burnt, see how many crappy businesses are out there selling the dream to people. And every day I know more and more people are signing up to these awful platforms. Just gets me so fired up. It gets me so motivated, angry nearly that we're not everywhere and we're not helping enough people just yet. And that's genuine. Now, how's it changed my life? Well, I would say that I'm able to live I'm able to spend more time on the things I want to spend time on. I can outsource everything else. I don't spend time on stuff that I don't like doing, and I don't have to think twice about it anymore. Like, I remember 4
You have more
years ago
choice.
I've got choice.
You get to
You've got
choose where you suffer.
Yes, your time choice. Time freedom. And that is probably the most powerful thing because, and again, by the way, I'm probably, doing, and I'm very grateful to be doing pretty well for where we're at, but also fucking small fish compared to people way above in bigger businesses in doing tens of millions a month and things like that. Like, very small fish compared to those guys. There's always you're never at the top. There's always more. There's levels. That's actually the other thing I've learned since being able to get to where I'm at. I'm able to join new groups, new masterminds, new communities, new peer-led groups. And it's all just who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You get connections, you get introduced people, you get to meet different people, the insight, like insight into like businesses that are doing amazing things. You get insights into people that have done what you're trying to do. You keep leveling up and it compounds. Like, we only did 6 figures a month, maybe 2 years ago, maybe November, maybe a year and a half ago. That was the first time we hit that in a month.
100K month.
Yeah. And we did 1.2 last month, 18 months later in a month.
Yeah.
10x in 18 months. Like, the compounding growth you get once you hit velocity is next level. And it's just bigger numbers. I think the other thing as well, Bergs, is it's leverage now. It's leverage. It is everything you do is at a much bigger. It's no longer 1-to-1. You're not putting in $1, getting back $2. You're putting in $100,000 and getting back $500,000. Like, your bigger stakes, your balls on the line. You're at the big boys table now. You're not fucking around anymore. Like, this is not bloody high school. Like, you're in the big boys league, and that is, you get big boys league results, but big boys league risks associated that with too, right? And that's the way I think about it.
And in business, some of your life gets easier, but you're dealing, it's the same thing. You're still dealing with what you were dealing with, but they're bigger numbers, but you still have the same stress and anxieties. Like, some of them are quashed, and, things are a lot better because your company is doing well, but you still have to propel things forward. You still have to, hire the right people, manage those people and lead them. And then there's, externalities as well, things like, tax or legal, or this customer's upset, or this person says something about your business, or you're attacked in the media. There's all these things you can't account for that
Yeah.
still happen to you and still cause you stress as a business owner.
Well, and it's bigger scale too, right? When you've got 3 customers, there's only 3 people that can talk bad to you.
Yeah.
I think we had 1.8 million views on Instagram in the last month on my social account. Like that's 1.8 million people that see my rude head every month. That you're going to get a lot of people that don't like you, regardless of who you are. So like, there's a lot more you're dealing with, and I think that's the other thing, that the time aspect. I actually have far less time, but I allocate it to better things. It's a weird dichotomy. It's like, I've found the bigger the business has gotten, and like the more people we have, like we have 18 staff members, 1,000 clients, hundreds of thousands of followers, and then you've got your friends, and then you've got family, and you've got like, there's just less, and then you've got your work colleagues, and you've got business groups you're a part of, and then you've got travel, and then like the circles get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't reply to everyone, you can't speak to everyone. Like that's the part that sucks, because you can never be on top of it anymore. I remember when I was able to get through all of my Twitter replies and all my DMs. I used to make it like a job of mine to make sure I get through it. I physically cannot anymore. Like it stresses me out, but it's like, you
have to be selective. Like it's
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. Like you have to choose where you spend your time and who you reply to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the downsides people don't factor in about building a brand or gaining, popularity or fame. You have to be very selective with your time, because you just get overwhelmed with everyone that's messaging you, whether it's your friends or your family or whatever. Plus, your time needs to be spent in certain areas to keep the machine going.
Totally. And now you got money problems too. So now I'm looking at, okay, like, now it's like, cool. What do you do with it? How do you protect it? How do you allocate it? How do you store it? How do you, how do you preserve it? How do you, like, and I was always this for myself with crypto, but now I'm, the Ben fund manager for Ben broadly, like outside of crypto. Like I'm investing in, getting property for mum and dad at the moment, looking at stocks. It's like, now you got to preserve broader than just crypto.
You get into like, people think that money solves their problems, but only solves money problems. And it is its own problem itself.
Yeah.
Because now you have to manage it, and you really need to think about, what are you on the hook for, and what prison are you building for yourself? Like we discussed this morning, where, you're building a prison, you're the prisoner, but also the warden. You got the keys, you can break out.
Yeah.
So you need to decide what kind of life you want, how you want to invest that money, how much you want to spend. And it can be quite complicated and overwhelming. Like it's an unnatural thing to have a lot of resources especially when you've grown up with next to no resources and everything's scarce.
Yeah.
It's very,
and I
very
think
weird. And
yeah, we were the same, Berg. So we didn't grow up with a lot of money. You're taught sort of the value of money because you don't have anything to spend. And I think money just exposes you. And I was having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day. Just like, it's crazy. Like sitting back and going, if like, how would I have felt if I knew I was going to be here 2 years ago, and like how it would have changed me. And I don't think it's really changed me a hell of a lot. But I can see how it would for a lot of people. People get arrogant, they get dismissive, and they're better than others. And for me, I'm like, no, I just want to keep putting myself in the room with the smartest people and be the dumbest guy in the room, like always leveling up. And
I think
that
also
like
like success is a very bad teacher. And I think I've seen the people that have either struggled growing up or struggled in their businesses, almost lost it all, versus people that tried something and got successful straight away, or received a big inheritance, something like that. It's very, very different. You also got to bring in their personalities and everything like that as well. It's interesting, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I went through that period where things were really good at the start, like 8-9 years ago, when I was starting out in the past business, and then everything went to shit. Like I've seen what going to shit looks like for 2 years of like proper going to shit personally in business. So when you've been through that, you had the battle scars, and you never want to go back there again, which can create some PTSD. Same with all you listeners that are, in crypto. Like once you round trip, you never want to round trip again. You've been through that period in pain. So now you're trying to build a more like secure moat for yourself. And you know, it's interesting though, because like once you're at, I feel as though once you're at a certain level, there's fewer and fewer people you can actually have open conversations with about where you're at. And I think that's the
Oh,
power of like what we're trying to build is like, we're trying to build that wealth driven community of other wealthier people that can have these curated conversations and catch ups, because man, you start talking about some of this stuff to some people and it's just, you know,
I, mate, how weird is it as a society that we don't talk about money? It's like this forbidden thing, yet we
yeah.
all go to work all day, every day to earn money, but we don't spend the time to understand it or talk about it. And it's like, why not? It's just money. It's just another resource and tool. We talk about fucking houses. That's a resource as well. It's like something that you have, is something you can invest in. Talk that till the cows come home. But talking about where do you invest, or, you know, what do you earn? How can you get a better job? Or how can you save more money or structure better? Whatever it may be. We just don't have those conversations. And it is the saddest thing. And especially when you elevate and you are successful and you do have financial success, that can be challenging in itself, because, you know, we all seek this out because we all work, we study, we start a business because we want financial security. And once you've achieved that, and a lot of us fucking overshoot when we do it, we don't need that much, but we do it anyway. And then who do you talk to? Like, who are those groups? Who are those people? And just trying to talk to the friends that haven't necessarily come up the same level that you have, or they might be levels ahead of you. They can't talk to you either. It's just really difficult. Like, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about, some of them don't want to hear about your success or what you're spending. There's things like jealousy, misunderstanding, frustration. It's the most challenging thing. And I imagine it's even more challenging for you because you're 26, you, with, you know, your net worth and salary, you'll be in the 1%. It'd be very isolating and challenging. Like, none of your mates from Tassie would understand what the fuck's going on, right?
No, I don't talk about it really. I mean, I will to some of my mates, but no, like, and I think that's where a lot of, you know, I would highly recommend anyone to really review who they're spending time with. Like, I think that's one thing that's been a huge benefit to me is like, I've consistently paid a lot of money to be in groups like EO, like the mastermind I just joined. I spent $90,000 a year to join a mastermind of, you know, winning business owners in the US. And the first month, I reckon I made 5x that based off some of the stuff that I learned, like in the first month. And
So good.
that, and now I'm a part of a group that are winners, that are successful, that are better than me, that are doing bigger things, and that makes me hungry again. You know, as soon as you get comfortable with your surroundings and you start to, like, I don't know, I've been there in the past. You start to hang out and spend time with people that are maybe not as, you know, and it's not even all about success. It's more about energy and, like, you know, not be with energy drainers, but be with that, you know, energy chargers. Like, that's the battery chargers. That's where you want to be. And I think that's where I'm positioning myself to spend more time with people that get me up and about, that get me excited, that are like positive on life, than versus the, oh, the world's fucked, like, you know, what, you know, Debbie Downers all the time. Like, it's just miserable.
Yeah, you work with people you want to, and you can build dope shit. Like, we were talking
Yeah.
about this before the pod, where it's more about fulfillment, because once you've kind of, you know, solved your money problems and you're kind of okay, then you can start to make other choices in your life. You don't necessarily have to do certain things. One thing I wanted to ask you though is, you're talking about comfort, right? And once you are in a position of privilege and you do have some wealth behind you, you kind of want to protect that. You want to get comfortable, not go back to the way that you were.
Mm,
And you want to have this kind of level of lifestyle.
yeah.
And it's a very interesting balance where you don't want to lose it, but you kind of also don't want to protect it too much and become complacent. You still want to
Yeah.
progress with whatever you want to do in your life.
Yeah, you've still got to take risks. It's like in sport when you're up at half time and now you're trying to protect the ball and play defensive, and, you know, usually that's when teams will get run over because they're playing defensive, and then, like, they get caught out, and then the attackers from the opposition will take over and win. So that's how I think about it. Like, you've got it. Like, the reason I got here was not by not taking risks. The reason I got here was by I took calculated risks, and I fast tracked my way to being here by doing that. I don't want to now become complacent and, you know, take the foot off the throttle. Like, I'm buying another car to put another foot on the throttle, you know, not actually literally, but like, my point being is I'm doubling down. Like I'm not jumping off the rocket ship. I'm holding on even tighter. Like I'm strapping myself to it and let's fucking go. Like I'm working 13-hour days because I love the game and I love what we're doing. And I'm like, now's the time to go even harder because now it's actually working. You don't go hard until it works, then take the foot off. You go even harder.
You're going so hard this morning, you're fighting off a monkey, mate.
So I'm in Bali at the moment. We were looking at a few venues for our platinum retreat. We're doing a 3-day retreat for our platinum clients, Elevate clients next year. And at 6 a.m., Mrs. is pissed because the alarm's gone off. I'm like, babe, time to dial in. I'm getting to work. We're on holiday, but I'm working.
Go time.
sorry, darling. And then I'm doing this live stream, and I'm speaking in front of camera, 300-400 people, and this fucking monkey comes into the villa and starts eating a mango and stealing my bananas right next to the camera. And I'm like, it's panic stations. I've absolutely nearly wet myself because this thing is big and it's looking at me and it's angry. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to hold the live stream going. And then I hand it over to Matt, turn my camera off and mic off. And I'd start yelling at it, and it's just looking at me like I'm an idiot. So I threw a coffee pod outside to go chase it, and then it got even angrier, and it came at me. I was like, "Fuck now!" But now I'm actually fucked. So it's chasing me, and then I just start being a gorilla back to it. I'm like, "Rah!" And then
I saw in the WhatsApp chat you posted a photo of it, and you're like, "I think this monkey's trying to kill me."
It was mad, man. It stole our cake. It stole all the bananas and fruit, and it was just sitting there like looking at me. I'm like, fuck, this is not good. And then so I tried to scare it off, and then it got outside. I shut the door and then got back on the live stream.
Oh, mate. So good. Just getting after it. And you were talking about levels before, and I find like I've seen in some of my friends a big trap when they come into some money through whatever means, whether it's their job or a business or an inheritance, good investment, whatever it is. It's lifestyle creep, hedonistic adaptation. Yes. And fucking 10 times out of 10, first thing they do, buy the big fucking house. Yeah. Don't know why, always buy the big house, which is just like a mausoleum. It's just like a chain around your neck. And I heard this brilliant quote where like status games are like, you want to get into that room with those people, right? And then you want to get into the next room. And there's always another room, and it's just diminishing returns. And then wealth games, it's like, I want the boat, and I get the good boat, and I park it at the harbour. Oh, but I see the yacht over there. Now I get the massive yacht, but now I can't park it at the harbour. I've got to park it in the middle of the fucking ocean because I can't go so close. And I look next to me, and there's a fucking bigger boat. And you're constantly just on that kind of treadmill. And you have got some nicer things, but you're being very reasonable with what you're purchasing, and you're very kind of calculated and aware of what you're doing. I mean, you bought yourself some new shoes, but probably that's about it, mate. Like, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think where I've spent money is just lifestyle enhancement to help me achieve and do more, be more productive. Like I've got a rental, like I'm rent vesting because I'm getting mum into the house. I want to build up my investment properties. I've spent money on, whether it be cleaner at home, I spend money on, I've got an assistant that helps me get stuff at home sorted. So I've sort of spent in areas to help me ultimately, and also I spend money on a good bed and couch and so I can sleep good. Like that's really where I've spent the most of my money. But now I'm like, how can I tax efficiently invest capital to grow my wealth? Not buy a boat, not buy a car, not do these things. And yes, I think one day I will do that, but I'm not doing that until I've reached my goals. And I think worst case scenario, what happens if tomorrow it all goes away? Like what happens if, something happens and, you can't live off a car and a boat, like they're depreciating assets. I want cash flow. I want income. I want growth and protection. That's what I'm looking at now.
And that's one of the important things my business mentors told me is you need to be personally wealthy and not just have everything, in your business. And when you do, and your executives do as well, you're going to make much better decisions in the business because you're not stressed about those little kind of everyday things. And if you're buying, big houses and cars and boats and lots of holidays, you're going to be stressed because you're on that treadmill. You have to feed the machine. You're constantly looking for cash flow. Get to a position where you've got, your salary covers your expenses, or, you've got a some money saved up and you got an FU fund, 6 months worth of expenses, or even the ultimate position where your investments are just generating at a rate that is more than you would actually spend on your lifestyle. And I think that's achievable for most people. It's not some fantasy kind of thing. And mate, let's talk about entrepreneurs, because for some reason, Gary Vee's been popping up in my LinkedIn feed a lot, and I love him because he just swears on LinkedIn. And I think LinkedIn is just ridiculous. Everything's about B2B sales and humbled and honored. And he just gets in, he's like, you motherfucker, what are you talking about? And all these people come on, they're young people, early 20s, some of them are older as well. And they're like, I want to be a millionaire. And he's like, are you fucking serious? Like, why is that your goal? Like, just by you saying that, I know you're not going to get there. Like, first of all, have a smaller goal, but being a millionaire is not the outcome. Like, people get there and you're like, huh, it's not like this huge party. It's just this small 5-minute moment in time where you crack a bottle of wine. And the most important thing, and I think you're starting to see this as well now, Ben, is that it's the journey along the way. And
Yeah, 100%.
it's all the things you achieve, how you grow as a person, the people that you do things with, the experiences that you have. And then as you get older, you realize the journey is all there is. The outcome never really matters. It is just the journey. Just striving for something, working with people and achieving it and being fulfilled. Yeah, that is all there is in life.
No, totally agree. I love the game. That's what I love. I'd hate to be.
And then you realize that after you've achieved the money, right? It's weird, hey?
Yeah, I think
like you can appreciate it along the way, but you only truly realize it once you've achieved, or even if it's not money is your outcome, when you achieve the outcome, like let's say you're a sports person, you swim 50 meters really fast and you win a gold medal. It's not about like that 5-minute gold medal. It's about everything leading up to it and how effort you put in and achieved as a person.
100%. It was done. I didn't feel anything when we hit 7 figures. It was just, okay, what now?
I've talked to a lot of people and they all say the same thing. Like none of them have really cared. And it wasn't this big thing that we're brought up to believe it is going to be because we've heard it in the news or some rich person talking about it, or, you know, social media has told us this is what you need and all your problems will be solved. No. It's the beginning of your problems. You feel nothing. It's bullshit. Like your life's like, you know, marginally better. You have more resources, but you still got your same fucking problems.
It's the start of your fucking problems.
It is, because you think it's going to be this great utopia. You're like, oh, what? It's not. I'm not super happy in fucking, you know, flying in like jets and shit. And even if you are, it's not going to fulfill you. You still have that emptiness. But you have to work on yourself. And that's where the real work begins.
Totally, man. It's funny. It's funny. I've been very lucky and grateful to find my passion of business and crypto. Like I love that, and education and finance and like investing. I love all. It's just like it's just a perfect storm, and content. I get to do that and help people, and it's just fun, man. I love it. I love the game. Won't be able to stop. Like what else would I do? Like, you know what I mean?
This is what I said on the Platinum Day. Like some of us are just working dogs, like border collies. You can't put them in an apartment, they'll just chew the couch. Like you need to do something. And whether that something is, you know, just working your normal job that you really enjoy, or working with people you like working with, or working on a fulfilling mission, or philanthropy, or volunteering, or just, you know, expanding your mind and traveling, whatever it is that you want to do, like you need to occupy yourself somehow and keep growing as a person. And for us, it's this business. I'm enjoying it more and more every day. Like the more hires we have, the more people we get in. Like, man, it just works. Like everything compounds, like you said before, and it just gets better every day.
So much fun. And I think that'll be my probably advice, or just experience shares for the listeners. Like, you know, you guys are successful in your own right. Like you probably could relate to a lot of what Bergs and I just said. But yeah, I think it's about, for me, you know, finding something that you enjoy, you love doing, and learning and progressing it along the way, and doing it with people that you love spending time with. Like that's at the end of the day what I love. And it's good fun and solving problems.
And yeah. And also be aware of what you're trading off. Because there's some wild things like if I could be 10 years younger, I would trade everything instantly, easily. Every day I'll go back to $0. I'd even go $- to be 10 years younger. Right. So you got to be aware of what are you trading off, like the time that you have, or with your family, or So what, because you trade a lot of time for your money, because you got to put that in, you got to put the effort in, you have to build something of value, and then you can harvest that money. And just be aware that money isn't all it's cracked up to be. It is time. It is those experiences. And the shocking thing is that you only realize that once you've done it, right? And so if you're doing it, have those little checkpoints along the way and make sure you're still feeling the same thing that you're feeling, and don't be tied to a number or something silly like that. And just make sure that it is the goal that you want to live the life that you need, and don't overshoot like so many of us do. We're like, oh, I want to get to, I don't know, $100,000. When will you be comfortable? 200. Now it's $1 million. Oh, got a couple of $1 million. What's going to be 4 million? You ask any person, like, at what level will you be comfortable? It's always double what they have now.
Yeah, it's never. It's
don't
never
be
enough.
that person.
Yeah. Awesome,
Just remember, you are a human. You will get old. You will get sick. You will be in pain. You will die. And just factor that into your decisions and live your bloody life along the way. And that's why I like working with you, Ben, because you actually live your fucking life. And it's taught me a lot to be like, oh, don't do all weird shit and habits that you picked up along the way and things you learned from your parents. It's okay to like live your life, take time off, spend some money here and there, just get after it and live a better life.
We actually complement each other, because I think like when we first started doing the content and working together, I was like, you like, from my perspective, you were very, I don't know if uptight's the right word. Like every dollar was
risk
like,
averse.
Risk adverse. Like it was just like, no, like, very risk adverse. Where I'm the complete opposite. I was like, fucking, who cares? Like, we'll figure it out later. But I think like we've actually come closer to the middle, where you're now like taking on more risk. I'm far less riskier than I was. I'm more risk adverse now.
Just the way you're talking now, like the way you use some financial terms and the way you're thinking about the future. Like you even said 6 months ago, like you never really thought that much about the future, but now you've got a partner, you've been with her, you can see the future and you're planning the future as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. But you got to think about it. You're like, fuck, okay, that's not going to be cheap.
Oh, bro, over East, looking at like housing and having kids and everything like that. Like it's, life is proper expensive. So do yourself a favor and spend less than you earn. Take 10% of that and invest it in something. Doesn't have to be crypto. It can be if you want. Put it into something else, something that'll make you money. Like just get ahead.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode and learn a couple of things on our experiences. If you like the episode, we'd love you to share it with a friend or family member. It's how we grow the podcast each and every week. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, champions.